Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And welcome if you're new. My name is Spring Ray. And usually on my channel, I talk about K pop a lot, but I do cover a lot of other topics, whatever interests me in my free time, which is a lot of stuff. But yeah, so I was kind of sad because I usually make these reviews. If you can tell by the title of this video, I'm reviewing Singles Inferno season three. I can't remember if I did a review. I know I reviewed season one. I don't know if I did a review of season two, but season three, I'm gonna make this as short as possible. Season three, I will say, just to give you kind of a summary of what I thought about the whole like season setup. I will say at the very beginning, I was like almost I was about to drop the show, and if I were the creators, directors, or whatever, I don't know. They have to be careful with how they did the show because I was about to stop watching after the first episode because of how boring, not, well, how few contestants there were. Because I was concerned. I was like, wait, so we dropped down to just like, I knew that they weren't going to just let five people or however many, was it six? Five or six of them from the very beginning, the first episode. I knew they were going to let that be like all the people, but also it was kind of like the personalities starting out were kind of dry, like from my point of view when they were first meeting. And I guess I have to give them all credit. They're just meeting each other, so they're trying to fill each other out personalities. But I just feel like if they wanted to capture the audience more, I don't know. I feel like it kind of took a little while before, and I'm going to put in the spoiler alert, they're crossing, islands. There's two infernos. So anyway, to me, it took a little while for them to get to the um, showing that there were two islands versus one or two infernos, right? So once I found that out, I was like, oh, okay. This could actually work. This can actually be entertaining. And that's why I stuck with it. I think if this would have been like just another season of them being on one island, or one inferno, I wouldn't be as excited. Then the other part I noticed at the very beginning, I was just like, what's up with this inferno? Because I was like, it's like bare minimum. I was like, where are they going to sleep at? Their little area where they first meet was so small, and again, only like five or six seats at the beginning. So I was just like, this is weird. And then I also thought it was a little, I don't know, not, what's the word? Like, as many plane crashes and stuff that happens, like in real life, I was just like, I don't understand why they kind of chose that way to decorate. I mean, yes, you have your TV shows that show like plane wreckage and stuff, but I don't know. Some of that can hit close to home. Like, I just, imagine somebody who's lost a family member to like a plane crash. I mean, they don't happen that often, but still, like, as soon as I saw this setup, I was like, so this is the decor. I don't know. I just feel like it could have been done a little bit more tastefully. I didn't think that was the best way to go about decorating. I mean, I know it's supposed to be like they're abandoned, but I don't know. I don't know what they could have done, but I just finished watching I just finished watching the Snow Society. If you watch that and then like think about this, then you'll understand what I mean, because that was based off of a true story. Anyway, so overall, I felt like the season three became more entertaining because of the fact that you have two different islands and then two different infernos, and then some of the characters did start giving me more energy throughout the show. So I'll go one by one just to give my rundown. I think that's the easiest way to do it of what I think about them. Um, so for So now to break it down, I've talked about the settings, and now to break it down by each contestant, we're going to start off on the first Inferno that were introduced at the beginning of the show. First is Choi Hysun, Hysun, and I apologize for any mispronunciation of names. I'm just not used to saying them. Um, okay, so Choi Hai-sun. She when I first saw her, I thought she was really pretty. And I thought out of the girls, because it was her, Yuri, and uh, An Minyoung. Okay, so um, I thought out of the first three girls, Choi Sun, I thought she was pretty, and then I felt like she was one of the she just had more personality than the other two girls from the very beginning, and so I thought immediately that the guys would pick her because she was so showing like some kind of personality. Kim Guri, when I first saw her, I just I know a lot of people were comparing her to the other girl from last season that was wearing like the fake luxury brands, and I don't know, I didn't really like Yuri when she showed her first impressions last with me, and when she showed like her personality from the beginning, it was very standoffish. And like when I think it was Hudson had said hi to her, or that she was pretty, all you have to do, you could at least be like, oh, well, thank you so much. Like, you don't even have to say, oh, you look pretty too. But she said nothing. Gary said nothing. She just looked at her, and that was it. And I was just like, that's so, sorry. Oh my, that's so, just rude. It was rude. And it made her look like a straight up bitch. Hate to say it, but that's how she looked. And so I was like, huh, well, okay. Um, and then as far as the guys, when I saw the guys, I really like Jinsuk. Um who else did I like? Yeah, Jinsuk, he's just so laid back. I love guys that are are like that. They're just like they're, taking it all in, and they're just easy. It makes it so much easier to talk to a guy that'll like have a conversation with you. You don't have to ask them a whole bunch of stuff. It's less daunting, to have to come up with something to say if you can actually just have a conversation with a person, with a guy. Okay, he's just a real chill dude. And I thought that him and Minyoung, they actually, I don't think they look like a real like couple. I don't think they were a couple outside of the show, but they were fun. Their bickering back and forth I thought was cute. Then you have on Minyoung. She's like if to me she was fun and she was pretty, and I felt like she kind of reminded me like of somebody who would be cool to hang out with, just like a bestie to be goofy with. Like she was kind of, to me, out of all the girls, I felt like she was more the most carefree, if that makes sense. um so I liked her. She was pretty cool. Then you have, anyway, um then we have the guys. Lee Guan-hee right here. I cannot stand him. I did not like him at all. Like his personality, I would not want to be around somebody like that at all. That is bad juju, bad vibes. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Like fire. Like flag on fire. I don't understand the women in this that were so on him, like constantly, because that was one of the other things this, and like the whole time, like these women were interested in him. I was like, it must be the saying, like, you want what you can't have, like people want what they can't have. He was like constantly pushing them away, to the point where it was kind of, I felt like it was a game for them. There he is. You can see him better. I felt like it was a game for him, for the women, because like he was saying, "Oh, I don't really know if I want to be with you or not." It was a challenge for them. And so I felt like that was what was going on, because he sure to me was not attractive physically. Yes, he's tall, but I was not attractive. I guess facial feature wise, he was not the most attractive male there. And in fact, I would probably place him last as far as like attractiveness. That's just me. So, and then on top with his personality, like he wouldn't even be considered because I could not with him. People were saying he was the entertainment for the show, and I just feel like he made it frustrating the whole time. And it was just like the same thing. He asked all the females the same question, like all these hypotheticals. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, is this your real personality? Because your real personality sucks. You need to fix it. But people were saying like the girls, like viewers were saying the girls were being too hard on him in some places. And I was like, this dude, he made one of them cry. No, actually, he made them all cry. But he was being conniving and like kind of just a womanizer in general. Like he was not, I did not like him at all. Ugh. Um, of course, Hassan and Guanhee ended up together. I feel like Hassan deserved better, and but she knew that. So I feel like it was kind of a I just want to be able to win the guy type of thing. I don't necessarily want to date him, but I'm going to be the one to win him over and leave the island with him. So I hope she's not dating that fool. Mm-mm. And I'm sorry, Guani, if your personality is not like what you presented on the show, well then I don't know why you presented whatever that was because that was horrible. Watch it back. It was bad. And then last you have Choi Minwoo. Choi Minwoo, when I first saw him down here, right there, when I first saw him, I thought that he was the most attractive out of the three guys on the first island. But then he didn't have any personality throughout the show for me. He didn't speak that much. He and I think if Suan, he and Suan ended up together, and like I thought they were a very cute couple. It's just that I feel like he could have given a little bit more. But it does make sense since we find out later that he's the youngest cast member, so that kind of makes sense. And then Guan Hee is actually the oldest. He acts like he's the youngest though. So Choi Minwoo, he was okay. Again, I feel like he didn't talk enough for me to really know what he's about. But I thought he looked cute with Suan. So, and that brings us to the other island. So I guess I can go ahead and talk about her. Um, Yu Suan, she's a cast member that everybody said looks a little bit like Jenny. And I again with her, she was kind of quiet too until she got around Minwoo. Then she would open up and she was much more like lively. I could actually see them being a real couple outside of the show. Again, I don't know if any of these couples stay together or it's just screen time for all of them. But I thought her and Minwoo made a really cute couple. She again, though, I don't feel like had any personality outside of them talking. So, not a lot to say about her either. The guy that liked her a lot, Wonick, he is kind of like a V lookalike here. Um, he was sweet when he talked to her, but again, his personality was kind of like not there, not there. So I don't have a lot to say about him either, except that he was sweet to Suan, but she was not feeling him at all. And so I did kind of feel bad because he did try. He did try. He gave effort. So points for effort there when it I will say his job didn't come off the like it came off kind of boring office job. I feel like they should have hyped him up some way a little bit better because it came out kind of dry compared to everyone else's career. And I know his job can be interesting, but I feel like they needed to spruce it up a little bit better. And even Suan said, what did she say? She asked him, like, it wasn't that he seemed stiff or, oh, she called him a robot. And I could see what she means like by that. But I think she needed to understand that she was probably giving off vibes already that she didn't really want to be in the same room as him and that he was like holding her back from meeting with Minwoo. So I think that she has to understand that maybe she was also not helping by kind of giving off the vibe that I don't want to be here. And so that was probably why he was kind of tensed up and not being really open with her. This guy, Yun Haben in the red, he shouldn't even be on the show. You took up a space. And why? Why? If you weren't gonna do a whole lot, like, I know nothing about him. He was the one. I was just like, wait, there's supposed to be one more guy. Who's that guy? I forgot what does he look like? What's his name? Haben, I forgot about you. And it's not even my fault. Like, you got to do something, say something. Even when they were like just showing people in Inferno, the camera never went to him because I'm assuming the director's camera people probably said he didn't say anything worth TV time or streaming time. So I don't know why he was on the show. He liked Hajong and didn't even try to go after her after like saying that he liked her. He had nothing to say to her after she took him to paradise. That's ridiculous. Speaking of Hajong, she was my favorite out of the girls. She looked really nice, and she. What else can I say about Hajong? Her personality. Loved her personality. Loved how she went up against Guanhee and gave it to him like it was. Like she went toe to toe with him. I honestly thought she was kind of better. I could see her and Guanhee better than him and Hassan. I don't know why. I just felt like even when they Hajong and Guanhee were bickering back and forth, it just felt more natural. Um, but of course, he didn't choose her, and he was just mean to her for no reason. And I feel like Hajong, I don't understand. Like she was like she had a fiery personality, but she still ended up like picking him out of all the guys. And I was just like, this is weird because like she clearly knows how he is, but she still picked him. And I was like, huh, okay. Um, but I thought out of all three of the girls, because it was her, um, Hassan, and Minji that were interested in Guanhee, and I think she, to me, had the most chemistry with him. And then last but not least, oh well, not last but not least, then you have Park, what's his name? Park Minhu. He was probably the most attractive guy for me. And I think it's because he was just really like his personality was great personality. And then also he was very kind and comforting to all the women on the show. And he's just a cool guy. Like Jinsa was cool. I just feel like Park Min Hugh, he was tall. He's tall, and so I like a tall guy. He's muscular, and his job, like his opening sequence for his job reveal, was so much better than everyone else's. It made everybody else's look like crap, like just bad. And I was just like, directors, what are you doing? Like, I made everyone else's job look all homely, and then you have his like not music, movie production quality video of his job. Um, and he's like a rescuer. I forget the exact title, but rescuing people from the sea and looking all manly in his role. But anyway, so he ended up with Yuri. I think he was being too nice because she didn't even really have anything, you know, deep to say when he chose her or went up to her to be chosen. Um, so it was kind of frustrating that he would actually go with her because I don't think she really liked him because she was into Minmu a lot. And oh, that was the thing with Gary. Another reason why I didn't really care for her is how she confronted Minwoo and was just like she took off her little radio pat microphone mic and I don't know, she kind of like popped off at that point. She's like, what, where does she see this ending well for her after she acted that way? I was like, wishful thinking. I feel like she pretty much knew that her and Minwoo were done because of the way she talked to him. She was like mean for no reason. Um, and then what else? What else happened? The couples were pretty predictable for me. Oh, Minji. I forgot. Okay, last but not least, Minji. Um, she was not after Yuri, Minji, they kind of tied. Minji came in later. I just felt like she was annoying and she acted like a baby. And that Agio, I can only take so much of it. Agio, it kind of, I think it's a culture thing. And I can take it in small doses, especially if you were 20 something going on 30. I just like if you were like above 25-ish, I don't know. It just gets annoying. And she is too old to be like making those noises and baby noises if she doesn't get her way. She was pulling on Guani's arm in that helicopter scene and I was like, this is embarrassing. Like you're pulling on him and then he clearly jerks his arm away. He does not want to be with you. So why are you trying to go after this guy? Because that's rude. Any guy that pulls their arm away from me, and I can't remember if I've already said this in this video, but anybody that's pulling their arm away, like a guy that's pulling his arm away from me, I would assume that he does not like me like that. Guys usually like a lot of touch from women. So if you're touching a man, he's going to want that, not groping, but if you're touching a guy appropriately, he's going to lean into that. And this guy pulled his arm away from you. He don't want you. But you still went after him. And then you got surprised at the end that he chose someone else and she was just like, I don't know. She was just kind of annoying and babyish, and uh, even when they were in paradise together, her and Guanhee, she was like just walking around like a little child, and I'm like, you're a 20-something-year-old woman. It's okay to be cute, but like some of the stuff she was doing, I was like, this is annoying. And I don't know. I'm sure there's some guys that like that, but I could see where guys could get annoyed if you're acting like a baby the whole time you're around them. Like, grow up. Just a little bit, girl. Grow up just a little. So, and I feel like a lot of people kind of did not like her because at first when she first came on, because she was like the last person to get there, and I always give them the benefit of the doubt because they are the last ones. I try to be fair since they weren't there the whole time, so they have a disadvantage. But she made it very hard after like the first episode. She was cool, but then when I saw her going after Guanhee like that, I was just like, "Oh, girl, this is annoying, annoying." So, anyway, overall, I thought that Singles Inferno was pretty good. I was just like, my thoughts to make it more interesting for if they come out with the season 4. They do not need to do this whole other. I'll take it back. They can do this 2 island thing one more time, and then it's gonna get old again. Um, my advice for them would be to, if you're listening, Singles Inferno directors, hi, take my thoughts under consideration. I think that they can still have the 2 islands, or they can go back to 1 island for, let's say, season 5. Add in foreigners, because that will bring in even more of an audience, but not just any foreigner. Like, I would not go onto the show. Why? Because I cannot speak fluent Korean. And I do think the show, of course, it started in Korea, needs to stay true to its roots. So I would say open up the auditions to foreigners, but um, not a whole foreigner cast. No, like maybe have one of the islands start out being, people like South Koreans, and then the other island be foreigners, and or like mix them up. So you have like maybe 2 foreigners over here on one island, 3 foreigners over here, and then other, South Koreans. Um, I feel like that would be so cool. And oh, I forgot to say, they have to speak. The only thing, foreigners have to speak fluent Korean, of course, because that will open up the show to more viewers. But also, again, they can still make genuine connections. I'd love to go on a show like that, but I can't speak Korean fluently, so that automatically puts me at a disadvantage, a big disadvantage. So that's why I say you have to have foreigners that are fluent in the language. I think that people would watch that. And again, it would still be more. it wouldn't be, it would still have the like Korean cultural elements to it, because you don't want to lose that element, because then it gets to be being like a Love is Blind show, or like an American, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be like Love Island. I don't know where all these shows started first, because even Love is Blind has different locations. So I don't know where Love is Blind started, if it started in America. I feel like Love Island, did that start in the UK? I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of those shows. Like, I don't know why. Singles Inferno caught my attention. Um, the other shows I haven't really watched them. I feel like the last dating show I really watched was like Flavor, what is it? Flavor Flav? That was years ago. Um so anyway, share your thoughts below about Singles Inferno 3, season 3. Um if I was too harsh on your favorite, sorry, not sorry. Just my opinion. Don't take it too seriously. But yeah, thank you so much for staying tuned in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.